Oh, all right. So my name is Jeff Venners, and I'm putting this on YouTube. Today's July 3rd, 2021. As I wrote in the beginning, I don't. I want to do this for my daughter, so she can see that her old man did some stuff. Um, you never know what the world's going to be. The whole coronavirus thing flipped me out. There was no food in the stores. Yeah, I mean, if you were around and or watching this years later or whatever, it's unsettling to go into Walmart and Kroger and there's no canned food, there's no pasta, there's no fresh meat. I mean, I think it went 4 or 5 months. There was no chicken's breast. So I've always been into this. Whether you call it homesteading, whether you call it farming, self sufficiency, pending the apocalypse, whatever you want to call it. I've always kind of been into it. My dad got me into it. Both him and my mother were raised down in eastern Kentucky, and Dad's dad died when he was 8 years old. So if they didn't grow it, they didn't eat it. You know, they butchered hogs and canned it, and they butchered chickens and smoked hogs, and you know, did the garden and canned and put stuff away and did shucky beans and all that. I think I'm going to try to at least document some of this stuff so that if something happens to me, my daughter can see that maybe I can take care of this. My dad's been gone since 2017, and it's 2021 right now. And I still miss him an awful lot. I still wish he was here to help me with this, all this stuff. And I feel like there was some stuff he could have taught me still. And I can remember last year during the height of the coronavirus, everything was shut down. And everybody was worried about, are we going to have jobs, me included? Are we going to have food? What's going on? And I remember sitting in the garden and I was picking green beans. Had about a bushel of them picked. And my dad used to say, and I can hear him say it in my head, Jeffrey boy, I'm not sure I'm doing you any favors teaching you how to work like this and do this stuff. And I remember sitting in the garden looking at a bushel of green beans when there was no food, no canned anything on the shelves. Fresh couldn't be had either. Thinking, my God, Dad, if you only knew how valuable this was right now. So that's kind of why I'm out here. That's kind of my goal. I'm not going to tell you that I'm perfect. I'm not going to tell you that this is the only way to do things. I'm not going to tell you you have to do them my way. This is how I did it. This is how I do it. This is how I was taught, or this is how I figured it out. And if you get something out of it, that's great. If you have questions when I get into something, I'll be happy to try to answer those as I can. But all I can say is we got 80 acres here. I'm working on getting the rest of it fenced up, and that's what we're going to be doing right after I get done making this little message. I got the fence post set. I'm stringing the wire. Finally got my hay made. I can get back to this. Garden is kind of okay. We put a lot away last year, so we don't need quite as much this year. We'll be able to get by until next year. Put a lot of meat chickens in the freezer last year that we're not doing this year because I still got some of it left. Probably went a little overboard last year because didn't know how coronavirus was going to go, whether they were going to get any food back in or not. So that's where we are. I want to get cattle back all the way back through here. I want to start fattening freezer beef back out like my dad did in the early 80s. Honestly, I believe if I can get it going, I believe I can make a living off this farm. Growing veg, get a couple of hoop houses with the beef cattle, making the hay. It'd be a lot of work, but I believe I can do it. So we're going to give it a shot anyway. Right now, this is a spare time hobby, I guess you'd call it. In fact, I'm practicing on this new selfie stick here, which is a little unusual, a little unnerving for me. But we'll learn as we go along, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. If not, well, appreciate you anyway, and we'll see what else we can come up with. So have a good day, y'all, and we'll start another video here showing how to string some fence up.